Yo, what is going on, guys? Uh, Today, I'm going to bring you guys an update on the current state of Bitcoin and Ethereum. I know I haven't made a video in quite a while now. I think last time um, I made a video, we were somewhere in here, and I was saying if we reject from somewhere, because I was calling if we gained this level, we would come and retest here. This would be the rejection point I was looking for. It turned out we rejected exactly from this level. Um, and if you look, this was actually a pretty aggressive move here. We we made a new high. We lost the higher low, tested it, and then confirmed here. And that started the whole 4 hour move, all the way down to create this low here. Like I was talking about before, you have a huge level of importance right here. The reason why this level is so important is because, if there's market participants that need to fill really big bags, like market makers and hedge funds, if they have billions of dollars, how are they going to get their orders filled easily? The easiest way to fill their orders is to come down, stop all these people out, which when these people are getting stopped out, it's going to operate as a market sell. So if this guy is trying to buy $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, right, he's going to have somebody else take the other side of his trade. With every sell, there's a buy. Okay? So all of these people are getting stopped out at the same time, which is causing a short squeeze down. And now this hedge fund, market maker, is absorbing all this liquidity, and now got a fill on his order with no slippage, right? Because if someone tried to fill a $1 billion order, right here, basically what's going to happen is the price is just going to keep going up as they're trying to fill this order, and they're getting filled here, 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 and now their average cost on their buy is like, somewhere in the middle. So for them to get the best buy, they have to manipulate the market like this to avoid slippage. And so far, right now, if you go to the 4 hour, you'll see that we've created bearish divergence from here to there. You can see it here. Bearish divergence on the 4 hour, any bullish or bearish divergence on the 4 hour is usually pretty high probability. Obviously, if it was on the daily, it would be even higher. The higher time frame it is, the more likely it is to play out. One thing to keep in mind is the more data in between it, the less likely overall it is to play out. But right now, obviously, we're losing levels. The target, whenever you have divergence, is the low that created it. So that would be here. So you'd be looking to at least take out this low. Obviously, it doesn't have to fully complete the move. That's just, the probability, highest probability. And if you come down here, you'll see that we have all these ranges are already tested. Everything got tested all the way up. The only thing that's not tested is here. You can see right here, not even on the 15-minute did we test this range here. So ultimately, if we continue to get continuation down, which it looks probable with these with bearish divergence, basically when you're seeing divergence like this, it means that there's weakness in the market. less people are willing to buy, but the market's getting pushed up due to leverage. And once these participants start getting liquidated on their leverage plays, it causes a cascading, fall in price. And right here is the next untested range. So I think if we continue this move, we're going to test here, and then, maybe we'll dip below it a little bit, try to regain it and go. But this ultimately would be the next level I'd be looking to see get tested in the short term, in the immediate short term. I still don't think this level is, out of the window. I think this can still happen. But what happened on this dump here was super bullish, like extremely bullish. Look how tight we consolidated above this range. It was a 2-day consolidation with such a tight range. Whenever you have consolidation to any extent, an explosive move will come after that. And obviously, if we start breaking this to the upside, it explodes. If we would have started breaking this to the downside, it would have been a huge move down. And that's just the difference between accumulation and distribution. This ended up being accumulation. One way that can help you tell if it's accumulation or distribution is just to take like a fixed volume range of it. And once we're gaining the point of control here, we came back and we tested the point of control here, and we held it, so we pumped. If you're seeing people holding the point of control, then it's more bullish. If you see price below, reject, and then start coming down here, then this is probably going to break down. And if you were using actual order flow, you could see the deltas between. I'll just pull it back up. If you were using actual order flow, you could see the delta between the buys and the sells, and that would also give you a better understanding of if this was accumulation or distribution. But since I'm on TradingView, you can't see that. Ultimately, still looking for continuation on Bitcoin. Like I talked about in my last video, every time we've had a stochastic RSI cross, which this is the stochastic RSI, which is just oscillator. Think of it as momentum, blue line on top, momentum to the upside, blue line on bottom, momentum to the downside. The last time we had a cross here, we went up, 54%. The last time we had a cross here, we went up, 90%, and so on and so forth. You can look here. Last time we had a cross, we went up 77%. So basically, very high probability for bullish continuation. I would be expecting price to start exploding once we broke this resistance here. You can see once we broke the moving average here, we started to explode up. This was part of that accumulation zone that I was talking to you about. Right now, it's trying to hold that. If we hold that, it looks good. If we break this level here, I'm expecting a lot of market participants to come in here long. I think this is like once we break through this level, it's going to be a explosion in price. So waiting for that at the moment. I can come over here to ETH. So last time I made a video, we just gained this level and we were trying to hold it. Didn't hold the level, came back down and started to move down. The main reason, honestly, this price action here of losing, this swing and then holding here is actually very bullish, which is what I talked about in the video. The thing is this is when Bitcoin was rejecting from here. So obviously Bitcoin if Bitcoin's dumping, ETH's gonna dump, every altcoin's gonna dump. It's just like the relationship between the S&P and the NASDAQ. If the S&P is dumping, the NASDAQ will dump. So we lost this level. I was saying we were going to come back down and test this level because we had an untested range here. We came back down, tested this range, regained it here. and we've continued back up to this range, got rejected from it, ultimately led to continuation here, and got rejected at the previous high. Okay, let's invert the chart. What did we do here? We stacked a bunch of stop losses on the sell side. So next time price comes up here and we break through this level, there's going to be a massive short squeeze to the upside. And if you see demand back to this short squeeze, we're going to see a huge pump on Ethereum. Obviously, what I was telling you about here is when you get absorption, so people are absorbing it, it's very much still a thing for, they could stop all these people out and absorb it and then, do something like that. But right now with market sentiment, I think this is just going to lead to an insane short squeeze into bullish continuation. I wouldn't expect any big market participants to try and have big short positions right now with the market status. If you go to Bitcoin as well, you can kind of see here on Tensor Charts, this is a free website that you can go to and see. You have a bunch of resting sell orders here at the high on Bitcoin at 126. You have a lot at 128, a lot at 127, and then a huge amount at 130. You can see that by how bright it is. You can see people love setting limit orders at whole numbers. But these are the places you would expect to see turbulence on, once we get back into price discovery. Ultimately, I think on Bitcoin's run, I mean, if you look at where my fib lines are, these are some of the price levels I think that could be realistic. I think this is probably the most realistic. I do think statistically it's possible that we could make it into these ranges. I think it's not likely, though. I'd say this is probably the most likely for now. And I've seen a lot of other YouTubers trying to say that they think the top is in. I mean, if you just look back historically at interest over time on Bitcoin, does it look like we're at a high here? Right here? No, of course it doesn't. I think retail has not really fully stepped in yet, and honestly, the sentiment on crypto has not been super bullish, which tells me that we're still expecting continuation on here. We definitely have not hit a top yet, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. You should always come to your own conclusions. If you go to the fear and greed index here, you see we're at 60. So I mean, we're not even in a time of extreme euphoria. Ultimately, continuation is the highest probable thing. If you go to the Bitcoin dominance, let me just pull it up real quick. You'll see that we're still breaking down here, and I'm ultimately looking for continuation on Bitcoin dominance, which means that I think altcoins are going to do extremely well during this period. If you look back historically, anytime you see expansion in Bitcoin, you see expansion in altcoins. And since I'm expecting expansion in Bitcoin, I'm expecting expansion in altcoins. So right now, just waiting for that. A lot of this stuff takes time to play out. So if there's any other, altcoins that you guys would like me to look at structurally, feel free to drop it in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this content, would really appreciate a like or a subscribe, or any comments of altcoins you would like to see, meme coins. I'll TA, anything you guys want, no problem. I also recently started to trade NQ and NASDAQ, or NQ and S&P. So I'll probably start posting some of those trades that I've been taking over there. Typically, when I day trade, it's on Bitcoin or Ethereum. But been having fun learning, trading the indices, and I definitely share some of those trades with you guys uh, as that journey progresses. Um, that's it for me for now, and I'm out, guys. Peace.